called A Distance. Thank you for coming. After listening to Karen's words, I'm tempted to say we'll follow that. It's very difficult to follow it. But I have to say, we have carried Karen's story all the way through. We do have a dedicated health reporter, and she's done a really good job of getting the story in the paper. And the paper and the editor think it's an important story, and we do carry it. And I think what's really interesting is that we managed to do that, even though we've lost about 35 jobs in 2 years. We managed to do it because people are dedicated and work extremely hard to make up for the fact that we've lost staff. We have no staff photographers. We got rid of all those. We don't need those. We can use casuals or freelancers. But of course it means that casuals and freelancers are treated fairly badly as well. Their pay is not good. And that's one of the reasons why today, to mark this special day, what we've done is put in our own pay claim to the management. It's the same pay claim as the weeklies in our group have put in. It's for inflation, RPI inflation, I hasten to add, plus 2%. And we've also asked them to look at staffing, because we don't have enough staff. And the fact that people work hard to cover stories like Karen's and many others doesn't mean that we don't need more staff. And it was interesting you made the point about, I know journalists would like to have more staff and more time to do investigative stories. We would. We have the staff that can do it, they haven't got the time. So it is important that we get more staff, and we've put that in our claim today. We've also said that we're not afraid of new technology. I think what's one of the most appalling things about the editors and the leaders of our industry is the way they are rushing headlong to destroy newspapers by saying newspapers are dying. And my newspaper is part of the Guardian group. And the editor of the Guardian, Alan Rusbridger, is one of the worst people for saying newspapers haven't got a future. In a few years' time, they'll all have gone. But hey, what doesn't matter? Because we've got the internet. Let's all go on the internet. My argument is there is room for all these forms of media, and we're not afraid of them. We embrace them. We don't have a problem with them at all. I tried to tell my editor 10 or 12 years ago that we should have a presence on the web. He didn't want to know. He didn't understand it. He didn't care. He wasn't interested. It was only when other people started doing it, and when our commercial side of our business wanted to get onto the web, that he thought perhaps we should have a presence as well. I'm not afraid of new technology. When they wanted people to volunteer to work on the website, I was the first one to volunteer. So we have reporters who are quite happy to use new technologies, but they expect to be trained properly, get the time to do the job properly, for there to be enough staff to do the job properly, because you can't make notes in a notebook when you're trying to wield a video camera or use a camera phone. And also, we need to acknowledge that there are health and safety implications. Our management don't acknowledge that at all. And we've had some fairly hairy moments when people have done things or been involved in situations where, if they'd been properly trained, things might not have happened. So we've asked for all that in our letter that we've put in this morning, and the weeklies have put their claim in at the same time. And just one more thing I was going to say was that from the Society of Editors meeting, our newspaper carried this story today. Newspapers have a vibrant future. And while we embrace the new technologies and the new platforms and everything else that we're quite happy to work on, and that we can pioneer in many cases, newspapers are not dead. They face a difficult time, and the managements need to be a bit more enthusiastic, looking for different ways of protecting our newspapers, protecting our jobs. And that's what we're trying to do with this campaign. So thank you everybody for listening, and good luck to all your campaigns in your own workplaces.